Meet Our Crew Podcast. We are the change we desire to see in this world. If you won't change, you have to be the change. We are looking for 3 more hosts to join our team. If you have a message for the world and would like to be a part of the hottest new podcast and media network rocking the podcast world right now, join Da Crew Podcast and Media Network. Looking for a little exposure? Allow each TIA Enterprises the opportunity to share your brand around the world. We will work with you to develop a package that fits your budget. Contact IHEART via email and schedule a consultation. Crew Podcast 2003@gmail.com. We are the change we desire to see.
Are you tired of the burden of past financial mistakes weighing you down? Look no further than BHG Credit Solutions, the industry leader in credit repair. We understand the challenges you face: charge-offs, late payments, bankruptcy, and those daunting student loans, but don't let them define your financial future. Here at BHG Credit Solutions, we've got your back. Our team of dedicated professionals specializes in turning credit adversity into opportunity. We'll work tirelessly to dispute inaccuracies, negotiate with creditors, and to develop personalized strategies tailored to your unique situation. Our proven track record speaks for itself. Countless satisfied clients have seen their credit scores soar.
Welcome. I want to welcome you guys to another episode on the Crew Podcast. This is actually episode 114. Of course, I am the visionary behind the Crew Podcast, and tonight I have some special queens that's going to be sharing this platform with me tonight. We are stepping in on behalf of Natalie Harvey, who would normally be broadcasted on tonight. But the show goes on, and y'all know we're always here. We are a family. We are a team here to support, here to make sure that you are able to get the content that we desire for you to have. I tell you, we are the change that we desire to see in this world, and we want to make sure that we are keeping you up on some of the things that we are passionate about, some of the things that we want to keep in the forefront. So tonight I have Apostle Tamala Lucas. Y'all know that's my sidekick. I tell you, every time I've needed her, she's always been there to be right there to lift me up, to encourage me, to help me, to push me. I tell you, this right here would not be possible without her, because I tell you, she's been one of the driving forces behind the Crew Podcast. And again, every chance I get, I have to give her a shout out. I'm going to bring her on up. And then we have Latanya Michelle Littlejohn. I tell you, she's one dedicated host. I tell you, every time I call on her, no matter how quick notice it is, she's always there to lend a helping hand. She's always there to encourage. So she's going to be with us on tonight. And y'all, we have a special guest in the studio. Via audio. He's calling in on the phone. Y'all know that I have been on this journey for the last year or two now, Apostle, trying to bring awareness to some of the things that's going on behind prison walls, some of the things that's affecting our brown people that are incarcerated. We often hear that people are wrongfully and overly incarcerated, but it seemed like it's just a imagination. It's just like, it's just not real. It just seemed so surreal. Like, does this really happen in the 21st century? Is this really happening? Yes, it's really happening, and it's happening at an alarming rate, and it needs to be addressed. So I have been, for the last maybe almost year now, I've been working with some individuals that is incarcerated in the state of Texas, trying to bring some light to some of the things that's happening in the state of Texas. Because guess what? If it's happening in Texas, it's probably happening somewhere else. So we definitely want to bring some light to some of these things. So tonight, y'all, I'm gonna move out the way because y'all know I get to going and I cannot sometimes contain myself with this big old mouth I got. But I have a special guest. His name is Cornell Jackie Drummer. He's currently incarcerated in the state of Texas at the John B. Connell unit. And y'all have probably heard and seen him across this platform because he is one of the individuals that I have been passionately working, trying to to get set free because he have been wrongfully incarcerated for over 33 years. So I've been sharing his story and just really trying to bring some light to some of the things that's taking place in the state of Texas. Mr. Cornell, if you would introduce yourself to these young ladies that's on the platform with me. They may have some questions. Of course, we and you have been kicking it, so there's a lot about your case and a lot about you that I already know, but they don't know. So if you would please briefly introduce yourself to them so that they can find out a little bit about you, and they may have some questions for you on tonight. So go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, my name is Cornell Drummer. I've been incarcerated for 33 years on a sentence of 154 years sentence, taken out of Bear County, which is San Antonio, Texas. And since my confinement, I have become to be a Texas prison writ writer, trying to vindicate myself from a wrongful conviction, due to evidence fixing, corruption, bribery, and things of that nature in San Antonio and Bear County.
Wow. So you said you have a sentence of 100 and how many years?
54.
154 years. Wow. Now, huh, what was receiving that sentencing like? I mean, what was your reaction when you got that back?
Well, ma'am, little did I know that I was a part of a judicial conspiracy operation in San Antonio. The judges in my county, ma'am, who ended up turning out to be the district attorneys and all of this nature, they deliberately gave me this time because of, their operation. And what turns out to be a wrongful conviction, the judge just stacked the sentences that I had. While I was in jail, I was charged with a murder case. And 13 months after being in jail, when they had no evidence to convict me for the murder case, they called me downstairs and booked me in for a drug case. And when I got to court, the judge deliberately made me go to an all-white jury trial with 10 white police officers standing behind me in the courtroom with the doors locked. And the jury found me guilty for the drug case first. Then they postponed the drug case, and 3 months later, they took me to court again the same way, which is the all-white jury trial. Doors locked, and 2 highly publicized capital murder cases I was tried between. But the judge ended up stacking the sentences. So since my confinement, I have been there trying to vindicate myself with these cases. And I got all the evidence to prove it, but still, because of the nepotism in our system, it's hard for anybody to vindicate themselves when our government is corrupt. It's not just the courthouse, it's our whole government system down here is corrupt. And with that being said, I would like to shed light on our parole board system. Okay, knowing that I was wrongfully convicted and had the evidence to prove it, I brought this information to the attention of the parole board. Okay, after doing 28 years, I came up with parole in 2019. After coming up with parole, the parole counselor told me that he did not believe in granting an FI1, a FI2, or a FI3 for an individual after serving 28 years coming up for the first time. Okay, so he ended up giving me a 2-year set-off. Okay, then again, he gave me another 2-year set-off. And then again, he gave me a 1-year set-off. So since this time, now, it has been discovered that our Texas governor, who is a former district attorney, has turned our parole board system into a judicial branch of government. Our parole board system is packed with district attorneys, judges, lawyers, police officers, and TDC officers. So with this being said, ma'am, our judicial branch of government is the parole board system now. So therefore, when guys come up for parole, the parole board system don't care anything about our rehabilitation status. All they care about is how much time they believe as an individual that we should serve in prison. This guy's here, ma'am, that have been set off 15 times, 17 times for the same identical reason. See, we don't have a liberty interest here in Texas, which means that because we don't have a liberty interest, which means that we have to rely on our parole board system to let us go. It's not mandatory that they let us go. So with this being said, ma'am, our government has turned our parole board system into a judicial branch of government. Therefore, I have to depend on this individual who just don't want to let me go. Despite the fact that I have proven to him.
So what you're saying is that people possess enough power to where they can say, well, this person deserves or does not deserve to be free just by how they feel and what they think.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's our system down here.
Wow.
And we have been trying to reform our system. Okay, the Texas legislators created what we call a point system. It's called a salient point factor score, which means that if an individual is considered low, moderate, or high risk, the parole board is supposed to consider that and determine whether or not they should be granted parole or denied parole. Okay, we have people here that have graduated, got master's degrees, social degrees, and everything you can find. But what happens is that our parole board system, if they don't feel that that person needs to grant parole, they won't give them parole. They'll get denied. No matter how much rehabilitation we get, no matter what programs we take, no matter what we do, they will still deny that individual parole. So we are governed by an individual, not a parole board system down here in Texas, man. And we are begging our state legislators and representatives to try to help us reform our parole board system, to reform the composition of our parole board review process. I write for Parole News Magazine. And because of that, ma'am, I have exposed a lot of the Texas point system, a lot of the corruption in our parole board system, and a lot of the corruption in our criminal justice system. And because of that, ma'am, I have become a target for the Texas criminal justice system. Now I am considered a political prisoner. With that being said, ma'am, the parole board or no other board in this state of Texas is willing to let me out. So with that being said, without any support, anybody willing to stand up for us, they're going to keep doing it.
Is there no way to get you moved into another facility?
You know what, ma'am? That's a good question, ma'am. Okay, in 2019, I asked for a transfer from this particular unit. Why? Because the people here in San Antonio, Texas, are former DAs, judges, lawyers, and stuff like that. Well, my case happened in San Antonio. And with that being said, the parole board members are being instructed by the district attorney's office to not grant me parole. So I asked them to let me go to another unit, but they won't do it, man. That's a good question.
Wow.
So can you explain, because a lot of people don't really know your case. So for those that are tuning in that have never heard of who you are, can you explain to them exactly what you mean about bribery and scandal fixing and all of that? Because it goes deep. It goes as deep as people losing their lives and people coming forward and people being there's been a case where it's been proven that there's actually been fraud happening, and when people have come forth and people begin to be prosecuted, they disappear. So can you shed some light on really what is going on within this Barrett County operation? And when you say operation, because a lot of us may not know what you mean when you say operation, so can you explain that?
Okay, yes, ma'am. In 1992, a former Barrett County chief medical examiner and his serologist got caught fabricating evidence. Okay, well, prior to that, I had filed a complaint with the judge saying that these people were fabricating evidence in my case. Well, the judge turns out to be the same one who's helping them fabricate evidence in my case. Well, eventually, after that, they issued an investigation on that. But the investigation was assigned to the district attorney and the same chief medical examiner. So since that time, they had covered the operation up. So during my incarceration, I started doing my own investigation. Come to find out, the chief of police and his evidence fixing scandal expert, they had falsified the offense report and the arrest warrant in my case by putting a ballistics man name in the arrest warrant stating that he just fired a gun that they took from the hand of a dead man.
And who is this expert? Can you shed light on who this expert is?
This expert is the same doctor from the Trayvon Martin case, okay?
Wow.
And his ballistic expert, which is with the Spingles, man. Okay, and with that being said, this Dr. Vincent D'Amayo, he is responsible for the entire evidence fixing scandal here in Texas because they have assigned him over the Texas Forensic Science Commission. So with that being said, he's allowed to cover up all of his cases, man, everything that he's worked on. All of the wrongful convictions in Dallas, Texas is responsible because of him. But don't nobody know this because did nobody do no investigation on him. But I have. So what happens now is that my prosecutor who he testified for, because me and her was set for a hearing against him. Okay, so this is where they tried to cover up the operation by getting rid of me and her. Okay, so recently a San Antonio Express news reporter went to go get my record. And when she did, she come to learn that my whole case file had been sent to the office of the Texas Attorney General in 1994. After they had already falsified and fabricated all of the evidence 2 years after I was convicted. Okay, 2 years before I was convicted, they falsified the ballistics report to say that it was the ballistics report that the gun received from the hands of the victim was test fired. Come to find out, the police department did an investigation, and they say the gun had never been sent to nobody to be test fired. So I filed for an actual innocence claim. Since this time, I have been continuously denied, man. Right now, I have $100 million lawsuit filed in San Antonio, Texas, in the United States District Court for the Western District of Texas about this whole operation. The judge in my case right now, he was the same judge who issued the order for the investigation in 1992. So he's familiar with the evidence fiction scandal because he's the one that allowed them to cover it up. So I'm caught up in a nepotism scandal, man. Not only an evidence fiction scandal, not only corruption, not only judge bribery, but a nepotism scandal. What I'm saying is that my attorney was paid off by my judge to get my conviction twice. My appeal has never been reviewed by nobody. I have been sitting in prison for 33 years on a crime that has never been investigated and has never been reviewed by nobody, not even the Court of Appeal. So now they're thinking that, okay, well, that can't be possible. Well, I got the documents to prove it, so it's got to be possible. But I'm here in prison for 33 years and I can't get out now because of the parole board system being instructed.
When you talk about set-offs and you say that they gave you another year set-off, so what does that mean?
Okay, it means that we're just not going to let you go at this time. And until we feel like we want to let you go, we're not going to let you go. So now I'm in the same position I was 2 years ago, and I'm in a position now. So when I come up on parole again in December or January, I have to be placed in the same position, man, whether or not they feel like they want to let me go. And they don't have to. They can give me a 10-year set-off if they feel like, and there's nothing we can do about it because we don't have liberty here in the state of Texas. And our state representatives and our lawmakers are not doing anything to try to correct these problems.
And when you say liberty interest, what does that mean?
A liberty interest is a constitutional magnitude, which means that you have a liberty interest to a right to parole. If your flat time and your good time and your work time equals the amount of your actual sentence, that means that that's a mandatory decision that they have to grant you parole. But because of the fact that we don't have that liberty interest like other states, then here it is, we are governed by a parole board individual that believes that he shouldn't grant me parole. So that's the difference in other states and Texas. It's like slavery, man. We're being...
Wow. I want you to share. I mean, you had mentioned before to me something about one of the parole board people saying that if you do get out, they're going to make you wear an anklet for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life.
Yes, ma'am. His name is Anthony Ramirez, ma'am. He's a commissioner. See, if you do 20 years in prison, you have to see a commissioner. And whoever that individual is, he is the one who has to determine whether or not he chooses to grant you or deny you parole. But it's a plea board.
We gotta wait till she come back.
Yeah.
Lordy. Well, I'm telling you, this is a hot mess. But I was looking at the First Step Act. This is what Trump is using, the First Step Act, how he can get out of prison.
I'm sorry, I got kicked out. StreamYard kicked me out, so y'all missed that whole segment. But the devil is a lie. The enemy, he mad, he busy, he upset, and he just all around here just messing with stuff. But it's okay. I'm listening to Apostle. She she posted something about we need to investigate the First Step Act. Are you familiar with the First Step Act, or have you heard of something called the First Step Act?
Yes, ma'am. The First Step Act, okay, is a process that, our caucus has tried to formulate to try to, help individuals, get seen by parole or get out of, out of prison and stuff like this here, and, to try to reform our criminal justice system. But that's only for the feds. It's not for the state. So they tried to bring that to the state because we had disproportionate sentences in the feds, ma'am. And with that being said, state courts, we have people sitting here with 99 years for a $20 piece of crack cocaine. So with that being said, ma'am, the First Step Act just really, it don't even apply to us. So now here in the state of Texas, they have established what they call a 6 and 6 caucus, which is a reform process. And they disabolished it. They disassembled it because they wouldn't get nowhere. But just recently, ma'am, they have established a 20-member Democratic caucus, which is to try and reform our criminal justice system, to address issues of, parole and the law parties, the second look deal, and, other issues of, that's in society. But whether or not it's going to go anywhere, ma'am, is a horse of a different color. Because we have a governor down here who's not trying to grant anything, nothing. No second look deal, no law party deal, no anything, man.
So what can we do?
Out of that.
Where okay, there's some questions. Where do we start to help? That's a question that was asked. Where do we start to help? So how can we help? We're not in the state of Texas. We're all in different states. You have three of us, Patrice, Latanya, Apostle. She's in the state of Ohio. If we wanted to help, I know you have 1 minute. Are you able to call back?
Yes, ma'am. I will
Okay,
do just that
okay,
right now if
okay.
you let me.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So he's gonna call back, but we're gonna have an opportunity to kind of dig in, and if y'all have some questions, feel free to ask your questions. And if you're tuned in and you have a question, or you may have some resources, you may know of something that could help, because guess what, he's not the only one. I oftentimes hear from people, and if y'all have been following me over the last couple of weeks, I have been sharing individuals. Just last week alone, I shared, I think it was six individuals that is also incarcerated alongside of Mr. Drummond, and they have various cases, and some of them, yeah, they did do what they did, but
Right.
how they handled their cases is totally wrong, and we understand that people have to pay for what they do in society, and a lot of them they're not coming against that because they know that they did, and they know that they have to pay their debt. But when when is drawing the line? When do we draw the line? And at what point do we start to say, okay, then we should give these people a second chance? Because you looking at where they giving people, like you say, 150 years, 199 years. People will never see the light of day. When is enough, and when is we gonna say, okay, well, people do get a second chance. The state of
Right.
Texas don't believe in second chances. They don't believe in rehabilitation. They don't believe that they are entitled to a second chance. Now, let the truth be told. A lot of us, some of us have broken laws and should be locked up right now, should be incarcerated. But because of grace and mercy, and just because we didn't get caught, that we are free.
Right.
And these people are
Right.
sitting behind prison walls. They have been wrongfully incarcerated. They have falsified documents. They have done so much to keep these people in prison. And if you follow the judicial system, it was never designed for us brown people anyway. If you go back and you look at what it was designed for, it was designed to keep us captive if we slip, if we escape as slaves. And then you look at how they run these operations and what they do. A lot of cases, these people are treated less than human. You talk about we're gonna get
Right.
into how they feed them, how they allow them to do different things. You would think that they would have programs in place that would want to teach them and to help them to transition back into society. Because people make a mistake does not mean that they are evil, that they cannot be forgiven, that they cannot get back into society and do these things. So welcome back, Mr. Drama. Welcome back, Mr. Drama. Do y'all have any questions? Because I know y'all know I get to talking and I would just take over the show, because this is something that I am very passionate about. And everything that I do, I try to be passionate about it. When this was dropped in my lap, when this was dropped in my spirit, it just I just had to do something. I could not just sit by and just watch. A lot of people, they not moved because it's not happening to them. It's not happening to their family member. So they not concerned. But I want people to understand that this could be, because your child can be riding down the street and they can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and because they can be a party to the crime. They can be a party to the crime. And that's a lot of what is happening in the state of Texas. They have all these different things in place. And because they are not governed by the United States government, because it's like they not a part of the United States. Like they got their own stuff and they looking at everybody else and they doing what they want to do. And the governor is running everything and he's saying what is this and what is that and what is this. And then you Google. And I tell anybody, Google corruption in the state of Texas and watch what pops up. It will blow your mind. And the fact that these people see this stuff, they see it going on, they see it happening, and nobody is doing nothing about it. It saddens me. And to think if it's happening in Texas, guess what? It can be happening anywhere else. It can happen anywhere else. Y'all, it's time for us as brown people to speak up, because guess what? It's happening to us. It's happening to us. Any other panel have any questions that they would like to ask Mr. Drama? If not,
My
I'm gonna
only thing
allow him to go ahead and
is
continue.
like
Do y'all have any questions?
my only thing is where are the Ben Crumps of the world that are, they're showing up for other people for certain things, but why is Texas being swept under the rug and nobody knows what's what and what's going on? Why isn't it being brought to the forefront?
Well, and that's what we're doing. Like I want to say that they have sent different people have sent stuff to different people. NAACP. Why? Because a lot of these people are involved in this stuff. A lot of these people are involved in the cover up. A lot of these people are they don't want to speak up. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to say anything because then they feel like they may be at jeopardy. What are your thoughts, Mr. Drummond? Why are the Ben Crumps of the world, and I'm gonna put it out there, where are the Cornell X's and all of these other people that are right there in the state of Texas that are saying that they are activists, that are saying that they are fighting for the rights of their people? Where are they? Where are they in these cases?
That's a very good question, ma'am. Since my confinement now, I have turned out to be probably one of the best brick writers in the state of Texas, ma'am. And with that being said, I have helped several inmates get exonerated for crimes they did not commit. And with that being said, ma'am, since being confined, I have filed complaints with everybody in the state of Texas. Washington, D.C., everywhere you can name, I have filed a complaint with documentary facts proving to these individuals that we have a serious corrupt robbery, evidence victim, judge donation campaign, court appointed attorney double billing, court of appeals rubber stamping operation in the state of Texas that's undermining the confidence and the integrity of our criminal justice system. I have contacted the state representatives, Texas senators, John Whitmire, Rodney Ellis, Joe Moody, Carl Sherman. I have contacted the court judges. I got a request from the United States District Court judge right now asking him for them to conduct an independent and federal investigation into every case out of San Antonio, Bexar County because of this evidence fiction scandal. They claim not to have jurisdiction. Okay, so since this time I end up filing a $100 million lawsuit about the same operation. Now the judge got the lawsuit, now he don't even want to respond to me. But I'm by myself, man. So because I'm by myself, it's hard for me to be able to get anything done out of these people. Not only that, man, when a attempt was made on my life, I ended up filing a $50 million lawsuit behind the same thing. And same thing, they kept denying me. So with that being said, man, it's hard for anybody who don't have any outside help or support to get anything done. Because Texas knows one thing. All we have to do is stall you and keep you locked up behind them walls, and guess what? Till you die. That's it. And they win. So that's what's been happening here in the state of Texas, man. Believe me, I got a complaint on the SA 23 Civil 00389, which is a civil rights lawsuit in San Antonio, Texas, for a $100 million lawsuit against the police department, the medical examiner's office, and the district attorney's office for this very same operation. But they don't want to give me no investigation because it would overturn every case out of Bexar County for the last 3 to 4 decades, man. And this is what they don't want to have to do. So this is why I'm saying, man, I have file complaints with everybody. Even the United States District, the United States Department of Justice, everybody. The FBI, Internal Affairs, Chief of Police, the city.
So who is the judge? Who is the judge that holds this case right now?
This particular case, his name is Mr. Orlando L. Garcia, man. And he's in the United States District Court for the Western District of Texas at San Antonio.
And what was his response to you? Because I understand that you have a letter that was written to you that says that you, if what you're saying is correct, that you should not even be incarcerated, and that you should that you should please explain to them, share with them that letter.
That's very true. That's very true, ma'am. Mr. Orlando Garcia, after reviewing the facts of my case and the exhibits that was attached to my case, he clearly stated that if the facts are shown to be true what Mr. Drummond is saying, then quite yes, his conviction is invalid. Okay, but he turned right around and said that I had to file a complaint within 2 years of the law. Since discovering the fact that I've been wrongfully convicted. Well, that means that from 2021 to 2023, I should have filed a complaint. But what he failed to realize is that I've been filing complaints for 33 years. Exactly. So I sent him a copy of every letter that I got showing him that I have filed complaints for 33 flat years. So now he don't want to respond to me now because I have proof showing him that I have filed complaints with FBI, Internal Affairs, Chief of everybody. So right now I'm waiting to see what his response is.
So how can people that are that really have no ties to Texas, I mean, how can we help? We're here in South Carolina, and then you got people that may be in different places. But how can we help, not being that we are in Texas?
Okay, we have a place called the Texas Attorney General's Office. And these individuals are responsible for conducting an independent investigation into these operations. Okay, we also have the Department of Justice. Okay, the Department of Justice are supposed to assign an individual investigator to conduct an investigation into corruption, and stuff like this of this nature. Why? Because this is a judicial operation, which means that it falls up under the federal guidelines. Okay, so the FBI should have been the ones who were assigned to this case to investigate this case. Well, unfortunately, the FBI too is involved. That's the problem. They've been having a complaint for me, 85-page complaint for me with the whole operation, and because they're involved, they do not want to respond to me. And this was on October the 24th of 2018 that I sent them that package. But in 1994, I filed a complaint with them for civil rights violation, and they would not investigate it then. Why? Because my judge now issued an order for them against the doctor from the Trayvon Martin case, and she was found dead days before we were set to go to the hearing. So after that, they counseled me out. I couldn't go to the hearing. Then immediately after that, an attempt was made on my life. They filled my body up with clear water, man. Clear water, causing my lungs to collapse at the Vito unit. Yes, ma'am. My lungs collapsed on me, and they come to ask me where did I get the fluid. I told them exactly where it happened. The fluid don't got no bacteria in it. I don't got no infections or anything to help generate any fluid in my body. So they thinking that I put the water in my body. So with that being said, ma'am, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything, man. I don't have no help down here. You know, we don't have no help. It's not because we all need help down here, man. An investigation from the Department of Justice, the Attorney General's office, the FBI, and anybody else.
So what can what can we do? Like where do we start? What can we do?
Okay. We have a platform called the Free Texas Campaign, ma'am. And because of this platform, ma'am, this platform is being used, ma'am, to bring attention and awareness to these types of situations. Okay, and with that being said, we're trying to utilize this platform to get this information to the people who are responsible for conducting an investigation into these types of operations. Because people down here, ma'am, you know, once they file complaints, okay, they just kick them to the curb and that's it. But if we have a support group, ma'am, associated with some type of platform, then yes, ma'am, they have to conduct that investigation. And they will. But we don't have no support. So through the Texas Free Texas Campaign, ma'am, we trying to formulate some type of support group to get us an investigation down here, ma'am. And if anybody know anything about the Free Texas Campaign, guess what, ma'am? It's a good program, and we appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the founder, you know what I'm saying, Mrs. Thomas, for establishing that program for us. And not just that, ma'am, we appreciate everything that you have done to bring awareness to what we got going on here in Texas, because it's well overdue, ma'am. It's way overdue. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Is there a way
do y'all
that
have any questions that y'all would like to add?
Is there a way that we can get signatures and get those to whomever they may need to go to help in this situation?
I'm sorry, it blanked out. What did you say again? Could you repeat yourself?
I was asking if there was a way that we could do signatures and get a certain amount of signatures and get them to wherever they need to be to see if that
like
would
a
help
petition?
with the
we
process.
actually
Yeah.
we actually have a petition. Apostle started the petition. Free Cornell Drummer
Okay.
petition that we started. It's just about just getting it shared and getting it out there, and people signing it, and being aware, and just being a voice, so yeah, that definitely is an option. I have now since created a Free Texas Campaign Facebook page. We have a YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I have been recording um, I have dedicated Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays to allowing some of these individuals the opportunity to share their voices, and to allow themselves to the opportunity to share. So y'all will be hearing more from some of these individuals. If you have time, if you will, just go over. If you're on Facebook, go over to the Free Texas campaign page, and you'll get an opportunity to read some of these stories, to read some of these letters that I've even written. I've written letters to the government about the parole board, about
Mm-hmm.
the different things that are happening. Um, but then yet nobody responds. I send letter after letter. There's been issues with the mail. There's been all types of issues. Right now, we have been sending magazines to the prison since November of last year, trying to help keep them abreast of the things that's happening on the outside, showing them that yet we
Right.
are sharing their situation and what's going on behind wall. And they have denied them the magazine. Um, The magazine has been going there since March. Here lately, I think it was July. I said it must have been something in the magazine that they did not want the inmates to be abreast of, and they helped my magazines. They lied about it until I made a fuss and went over the prison's head. Because one thing about me is I'm gonna find out who's over you, and I'm gonna go to the
Right.
people. I'm gonna get people involved, and I'm gonna get more people involved. So I reached out to different people, and I let them know, hey, this is who I'm reaching out to. This is who I've also sent this to. So if you can't do nothing about it, know that this person has it too. So I'm making people be held accountable, because that's what it's all about. When people think that don't nobody know that this is going on, well, no, I'm letting everybody know that, hey, you got this letter, you are aware of this, and so do what you're supposed to do. So
Right.
that's what I'm doing. And I'm just asking, if you're hearing this, if you come across this, whether you're hearing it live, you're hearing a replay, you hear it as a reel, however you get this, if you hear it, go over, support the Free Texas campaign. If it's sometimes it's just sharing some of the content, and just sharing, letting people know what is going on, bringing it to light, bringing it to the forefront, talking about it. No, we may not be able to fix everybody's situation, but at least we can bring light to it so that people can see what's going on. Because there's no way I could be in the state of Texas and know that all this corruption is happening and do nothing about it. Because
Right.
it's blatant. You Google it. I'm telling you, you can go to Google right now and put in corruption in the state of Texas, and so much will pop up. So how and why are they letting it go unanswered? And it's just like they're not concerned. And it's time out for that, because that's what's
Right.
been happening. We keep saying that let the justice system work, because that's what it's supposed to do. But it has not worked for us, in never. It has never worked for us. It has never worked for us because it was not designed for us. From the beginning, it was not designed for us. It was not set up for us, and it's gonna ever. It's always, people don't understand that this is a $1 trillion industry. It used to be $1 billion industry, but it's $1 trillion industry now. You got all types of companies that are connected to prison. You talk about, you wonder why, if we can provide these school lunches, why can't we provide the same lunches for the prisoners? Because it's ran by the USDA, ran by the government. They give these people, they don't give them full meals. They don't have a nutritious meal. They peanut butter and jelly. What do y'all call y'all meals?
We have Johnny's, man. We have had Johnny's all day today. We get Johnny's every day, at least 5 days out of the week, man.
Johnny's. And
Peanut
guess
butter
what
and jelly
Johnny's is?
sandwich.
Johnny's is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They give you it's horrible. That half of the stuff that I hear them talk about, what they receive as meals, I wouldn't feed it to a animal, let alone feed it to
Right.
humans. And how they serve it to them. Just like y'all, if y'all tuned into the show with Lisa, she had someone on, and he talked about how they come around early in the morning. They come around early in the morning, getting you up, waking you up. I mean, they always keeping you at a state of alertness, because why would you have somebody up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to feed them breakfast? They should be asleep. But yeah, you're waking them up,
Right.
counts in the middle of the night, all types of stuff. It is not designed when you should be trying to work on things to get these people into society. They're killing their mental. It's just killing them. And that's they just like he said, they want you to die in prison, because guess what? I can guarantee you they got some insurance on you, and they gonna get paid, because with them it's all about money. These people don't want to ever see you free. It's all about keeping these beds filled, and they filling them with all brown people. You look at these prison systems. What's in there? All brown people. And if you see white people in there, it's the white people that's at the bottom of the totem pole. Believe that. They ain't the ones with money. Because it's the ones with money that are getting us put in there. because a lot of their family members should be in prison for some of the stuff that they've done, but they use their money to put other people in place. Y'all, this corruption is real. It ain't just a fake figment of our imagination. These people not making up this stuff. This stuff is real. When I began to hear some of these stories, I couldn't believe this stuff. How? Two all white juries? When in the, and I forget what law it is, but it's a law that came out of Kentucky that states that it's illegal for any kind of jury. It's supposed to be a variety of your peers. My peers are people that look like me, people that are my age, people that can relate to me. So it's a lot, but it's going to take much prayer. But it's going to take us getting up and knocking on these people's doors. Like I'm ready to go to Texas and be like, okay, y'all, I'm here, but I need some people to go with me. I can't go by myself. But I need those that are there in the state of Texas. This is your welfare. This could be your family member. It's time for them to step up and to say something. Because it saddens me that this is happening. Saddens me. Do anybody have anything to say?
Hello.
Apostle?
Hello?
Apostle froze. Or maybe she'll get to come back in. But Mr. Drummer, is there anything that you would like to say to those that are listening on tonight?
Well, yes, ma'am. First of all, I want to say thank y'all for listening in, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Because, this is something that we don't, hardly have the opportunity to do, is to share our stories to the outside world. For you guys to listen in, to know what's going on here in the state of Texas and here within these prison systems. So with that being said, man, we appreciate y'all for coming in to listen in to, try to understand the situations that's going on the other side. Because this, like she said, this is real. Corruption, bribery, DA favoritism, all this stuff is real. And we have countless people sitting on death row. We have countless people sitting in prison, for cases that they did not commit. We have an operation, man, that's so out of control that it's still happening right today as we speak. So, and not only that, it's a female individual who I would love to share her story. Her name is Janine Jones. She was convicted back in 1982 for killing 52 babies. But because they couldn't have no evidence to convict the girl, they had her lawyer to plead her out to 60 years in prison for a crime she did not commit. So since that time, ma'am, she has come up with parole, and 17 years later, they took her back to court, ma'am, and let her plead guilty to another crime to give her a life sentence just to make sure that lady could not get out of prison. And she have a huge story. She got books called The Death Ship and all of these types of books that's out. Janine is her name. But she's a political prisoner, ma'am, and she deserves some type of attention on her case, ma'am, because the same Dr. DeMayo who got me is the same doctor who got her. So with that being said, ma'am, if anybody know of the name of Janine Jones, hear the name of Janine Jones, she is a female individual sitting in TDC right now, ma'am, with a life sentence. So, with that being said, I'm a rich writer. So, I have to have a heart and care about other people as well, ma'am. I can't just sit here and care about myself. I got to care about other people and share their stories as well. But with that being said, ma'am, like I said, I appreciate y'all for coming on to listen to what we have to say. And like I said, if y'all can, join into the Free Texas campaign, support us on a petition, the signing of a petition for an investigation, please do that. And if you do, we can get it to our state representatives, our Texas senators, our Texas governor, our court system, the United States District Court judge, and the Department of Justice, or anybody who's willing to look into this. And I can guarantee you this. If anybody look into this particular case, they have to overturn thousands and thousands of
Thank you. Apostle, you were getting ready to say something, and you were disconnected. Would you like to say what you was going to say?
Yes, I was trying to say we had to go to these, Lord Jesus, we had to go to the council meetings and with our petitions because here in Cincinnati, they got bikes. A group of people went down to the council meeting with their petition and got bikes on these streets where the people pay $5 for these bikes. A petition, all because they went to the council meeting. The people in each state need to go to the council meetings and get these changed because the marches is not doing. You have to have things in black and white. So that's what I was trying to say. We got it. That's how you change the laws.
We have to show up. That's it. We have to show up. We have to be present and speak up inside of these meetings because guess what? These people are making decisions about our lives, and we have no idea what is going on because guess what? We don't show up to these meetings. We don't show up and see what's going on. You know, it's happening all the time. I see it all the time. When I was in Anderson, South Carolina, I used to attend these meetings regularly, and I'm about to get ready to start attending them. I was just talking to a young lady today here in Myrtle Beach, but I used to attend these meetings back in Anderson, South Carolina. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Know exactly what you're talking about because I used to attend these meetings. So yeah, we have to stand up and allow our voice to be heard. You know, that's something that I always say. We have to be the change that we desire to see in this world. Change is only gonna come when we change. You're right. We have to show up. We have to show up.
Can I weigh in?
Yeah,
Can I
sure.
weigh in on what she just said? Yes, ma'am. See, the city councilmen and the county commission are the ones who run the city and the county. Okay, in San Antonio, we have a mayor and the city councilman who runs the San Antonio Police Department. Okay, county commissioners runs the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. And because these two entities are joined together, here it is, our Bexar County judicial system is associated with the police department. So the district attorney's office is utilizing the police department, to help them get convictions on people by fabricating evidence on individuals. So with that being said, a petition bound to the city councilmen in San Antonio, the city mayor, and the county commissioners in would be a good start, man, for an investigation, man. I got a petition on my tablet that's sent to Mrs. Thomas Smith for that purpose, man, for an investigation. So thank y'all very much, man, for tuning in, man, and for listening to our story, man. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I thank you so much. He's getting ready to cut off again, y'all. They only get 30 minutes on these calls, but I thank you guys for coming on and sharing with me on today and helping be a voice for those that don't have a voice right now because they're not hearing them. They're not hearing them. So I thank you guys for coming on. I thank everyone for their comments, their questions and their comments. But yeah, accountability is key, and this is crazy. Like I never thought, you hear of cases, but then when you see the amount of cases like this now, y'all, it's saddening. It is saddening. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for sharing with me on tonight. Is there anything that y'all would like to say before we close out?
No,
I just hope
just
we just
basically.
come together.
Amen. That's
I'm
it.
sorry, Apostle.
It's okay. I just hope we just come together and stand, show up. Every time I watch the TV, I see people marching. They need to march right into the council place, council meeting, and sign those petitions. That's what they need to do. Just march in there, march in the building, because your free work is you waste of time.
Yeah, you need to
Right.
be sitting in there in the meetings
Stand for
and being a
something or
voice,
fall for anything.
and that's it. But I want to thank everyone that has tuned in, that was a part of this on tonight. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for supporting the Crew Podcast. If there's anything that has touched your heart on tonight, I want you to share this in your circle of influence. If you are not following the Free Texas campaign, I want you guys to go over, follow the Free Texas campaign. Facebook page. There's a YouTube. I am going to be sharing a lot of the information that I come across, and a lot of the things that we're going to be doing and trying to help these individuals get free and to get some justice. So thank you. Please go over, like, share some of the content. There's some letters to the state of Texas inside of August edition of Aspiring Authors Magazine. Y'all can go over and check out some of those articles. The magazine is up. You actually can click on the link to the magazine and flip through the pages without even buying it. You ain't got to spend a dime. You can go over and look through the magazine for free. For free. So you get an opportunity to see what's going on. But if you want a copy, you can also click on that same link and get you a copy. So thank you guys for tuning in for episode 114 here on the Crew Podcast. Thank you, Latanya. Thank you, Apostle. I love you guys. And y'all have an amazing night. Okay. Y'all, this internet is something else. I'm telling you.